Yeah, thank you very much, Marie, for welcoming me, and then Vanessa also, and Pascal, for giving me the possibility to share with you a little project. So we know the stereoscopic world is like made of a lot of different type of projects, Photoshop, video extraction, fractal softwares, and things like this. But when I was looking at all these different projects, I wanted to bring my little, let's say, piece to this world by trying to make actually drawings. I'm very into painting, things like this. So I just say, why not trying to draw myself some 3D stuff? And over the last, let's say, 3 months, I started to do some projects. And basically today, the goal is to share with you just, let's say, the basics, so that basically you can play by your own, and then maybe find a new interest into this stereoscopic world. So as Mary said, what you might need is just to have like a page with squares and a pencil, and then after we can go together through the different example. So I'll share my screen first. Wait. Okay. There we go. Share. So just let me know if you can see the screen, if it's big enough.
Yeah.
Okay. If no, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So maybe I will just start with a few examples just to give you an idea of if you master this skills, what you can potentially do. So I just collected a few examples that I did over the last few months. So I don't know if you are all familiar with the parallel view, but I guess yes. So I can go through the different examples. So one was like here, for example, making a small nest, and then playing with let's say different straight lines and then curves, and then coloring them a little bit to add some more depth of field. I have also an Instagram page, so if you really want to look into deeper view of these examples, you can find me on Instagram. And let's start with the example. So on your page, basically the first step is to build a plane reference. For people, it's quite difficult if you have just like a white sheet, because you will have difficulties to see what is your, let's say, your plane reference. So that's why I came up with this very simple technique from a squared line or like a dotted sheet of paper to make first a horizontal line. And then after
Stuph,
two.
I'm sorry,
yes?
just a second. Can you zoom out a little bit, because it's quite small, so we can see the instructions a little bit better. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll zoom in. I'll zoom out after if you want really to see in 3D. But on your paper, you will be able to do it. So basically, just draw a horizontal line, and then just draw two vertical lines. But the distance between these two lines should not be more than 5 centimeters. Why I say 5 centimeters is basically to force these two vertical lines to be less than the distance of between your two eyes, so that the parallel view will be easy to adjust with. Okay, so if you have any question or if it's too fast, just drop a message. Okay, I'll try to go not too fast, not too slow either. Then after the next principle is, if you want to play, is just to add now a reference point on this 3-dimension, let's say, map. If you want to make a point which is exactly on that plane reference, you need always to keep the distance between the 2 points equal to the distance between the reference point, which is 5 centimeters. So for example, if you want to draw just a dot, and you place it 1, 2, 3 marks up from the reference, you need to do the same 1, 2, 3 on the right. And then after, when you do your parallel view, you should be able to see that red dot, which is on the same plan as your reference plan. Okay. Now the interesting part is here. Is as soon as you change the distance between these 2 points, else on the left or on the right, you will start actually moving these points forward or backwards. So I'll just give you a very brief example. Say if I zoom out so that you don't need if you zoom out, and then after I just displace that little red dot on the left, you will see that now this red dot is facing front. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. And then the same principle applies for putting the point backwards. You increase the distance. So you put that little point on the right. And now if you do the parallel view, you will see that the red dot is backward. So if you understand this principle, you understand everything. This is 99% of the of actually what I would like to share with you today is very basic principle that can after you can expand it to anything you like. So if it's all okay, we can go through a first example where we're actually now going to connect the two different the two different let's say depths. So we can start basically by identifying our green points, which will be front. So you can start with putting 3x and 3x from the main. So you can mark a reference on your paper. 3 marks and 3 marks. Okay. And on the right, you just go 1, 2, 3 on top, and 4 on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just let me know if it's okay or not. I can hold it. Okay. And now we can also build, if it's okay, then we can build these other little points, red points that are on the reference plan. So same, you can put like two on the left and 2 on the top and 2 more on the top, and do the exact same on the right. Okay, so these points are on the 0 plan reference. And then after, the concept is to link these all these red light dots to the green dots, so that after you can have your first, let's say, 3D line in your map. How does it look?
It looks great. It works.
Does it? Okay.
For me, at least.
Well, anyway, it's maybe there's one rule that actually is important, and I will share with you the main principles. I don't like to give rules, but they help a lot in this case. Is that, for example, the green point here and the green point there, the distance between you cannot shift this green point too much on the left or too much on the right. Otherwise, it will be too difficult for the eyes to get the focus. Okay, so I suggest whenever you have your square paper that you never go more than 1 on the left or 1 on the right. Meaning that if you have 3x here, you don't go you only go between 2x and 4x. So between here and here. If I put this green dot really on the left here, for example, I put it here, your eyes will not be able to focus. So it will be a bit foggy, and then it will not work. Okay, that's the rule number 1. The rule number 2 also is that any point that you put, they have to be the equal elevation, okay? So you can only play with putting a bit on the left or on the right, but never up or lower, upper or lower. If you put upper or lower, it will not work either, okay? So these are the 2 main rules. After, when you have that, no problem, you can play forever with that. Okay, so if we continue this example 1, now we put this green line on front, we can play with the next one, which is the blue dot. And the same here, we're gonna put this blue dot 3x and 3x on the bottom. And on that side, on the right side, 3x, so same elevation, but here a little bit shifted on the right, on its right. So you can go like one more cross, like one more mark on the right. So it's going to be for x. Okay. In order to connect the different depths of field, that's why in this example, we connect some dots, some red dots that are from the original plan to the blue dots. This will help you having this depth of field. If you just put dots, it will not work as much as if you put some lines. And that's how I started at the beginning doing these little projects. How does it look now? You seem all concentrated, huh? Nobody's talking.
And it works.
Well, if it works, at least it's the most important. It's just to show you basically that you can put a point up front and a point backwards from that reference base, and that's the most important. Okay. So I don't know if we have a lot of time. How does it look, Mary?
For me, it worked.
Okay.
Somebody's interested.
Okay. Now, Vanessa, it's good. Any question at that point?
Mine is looking like yours, I believe. I don't know. I'm trying to follow your steps, like word per word.
No, but it's really good. So now you will realize also one thing is that you need to be extremely precise. If your line is not just like maybe just 1 millimeter on the right, all the drawing can be screwed. So yeah. it's really a precision exercise, but really precision. So well, you can train and it will only get better. Okay. So for the next one, if I don't have any question, do you have wait, any question? I cannot see. Okay. Sorry, I have to leave. Okay. Okay, well, no question for now. So we go directly through the second example. This one might take a little bit more time, but I want to go through it so that in the replay you can always look at it, pause, and then draw it at your convenience. Okay, so that's the example 2. Same, the blue dots are always the ones in the backyard, and then the green dots are in the front yard, and the red are on that very same reference plan. So here, that's a little bit different exercise, but same principle. We want to draw actually a square, but that square will be angled, a little bit angled. So it's not going to be facing you, but it's going to be angled. So that green dot, you move it a little bit on the left, and the blue dots on the right side here a little bit. The red dots have the same distance between your reference, so 3 on the right, 3 on the left. Okay, so I maybe zoom in if you want, so that you have. Okay. I will continue just on the next step. You can always continue. But basically here, the concept is once you have your base on your pyramid, you can create your cone. And the concept here is like a bit special because, for example, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top. So you have your reference points. And now you're going to connect all the points from the top of the pyramid to the base. But as you can see here on the green and the blue, they are just on the same line. So you don't have to draw any extra line. You just draw the one here on the left and on the right. But here on the right side, now the green and the blue are a little bit offset. So you need to draw these two extra lines.
This is a little bit more complicated.
And that's the example number 2. So that was the concept here is that even if we cannot, I understand that it's not easy to listen, to discover, and then to make the example. So even if we don't manage to do it together at the moment, we can always look at the replay and then do it with a bit more time. And basically, I can show you I can show you the final picture, which will be this one. And basically, at the top of the pyramid, the bottom of the pyramid, and there you can see it gets a little bit complicated because you start having more and more lines. Okay, I'll zoom out just so that you can make the parallel view. And that should give you a top and bottom pyramid. And that presentation now is finished. The intent was just to give you like the possibility to see that it's feasible. Anybody can do it. You just need a little bit of patience, experimentation. It's really experimentation. It's not. I didn't learn anything from the books. It's really you play a little bit here, a little bit there, and you'll be able to add also some curves. So here the straight line is the step number 1. But if you want to add some curves, then after it makes the drawing even more interesting. And after, it's like a drug. When you start, you never stop.